obviously your career, there's been performance throughout.
Right.
How different is the controlled environment of a movie set to the slightly less controlled environment, perhaps, of a wrestling ring?
It couldn't be any more different, like you said, because it's like, yeah, professional wrestling is just it's chaos, and it's really because it's so big and it's, so broad, and you're it's a live it's a live thing, it's an adrenaline thing, and you're surrounded by a huge audience by 360 degrees, and then you move into film, and it's so intimate, and it's so quiet, and you're got these cameras pointing at you at different angles, and then all of a sudden you're reading these lines that and you're trying to make them your own. It's just, yeah, I mean, it couldn't be any more different.
Because presumably there must be, does it feel like a restriction having that script there as opposed to being able to be a bit more free?
No, it's weird. It does, from a certain aspect, but at the same time, that's kind of what I love about it. It's kind of the challenge. It's challenging, taking those lines and making them your own, or creating this character, because Drax, I mean, he speaks very formally. It's so different from what, I speak gibberish, man. It's just, most of the time it doesn't even make sense. It takes me forever to just make a point. But Drax is very precise, very formal in what he has to say, and that was the challenge. That's kind of, I guess that's the hard part about it, but that's the thing that I love about it. I think that's what drew me to acting, is it was challenging, because I wasn't good at it. I was horrible at it.
In terms of sort of not just the talk, but certainly the physicality, obviously he has to have different movements to
Right.
Dave Bautista.
Right.
How do you change that?
Camera angles. Well, I think there's certain aspects of it. Some of the fighting I did was some of the stuff they let me. I have a background in Kali, which is Filipino martial art, and they actually let me use a little bit in filming. But other stuff is just like the choreographed fight scenes. They're so different. Professional wrestling, they're so precise, and they're the way they do them is designed for certain camera angles. You're always working for the camera angle. With professional wrestling, the cameras move to suit us, what we're doing. So, I mean, again, it was a whole different learning experience, and something that was completely new, and something different from anything I'd ever done.
And James Gunn, when he was, during the filming, people were talking to him about your casting, and there was a degree of doubt.
Oh, huge degree of doubt, yeah. I mean, that was the thing. When I was even first announced that I was up for the role, there was it wasn't even doubt. It was like a backlash of people. And I get it, and I get it, because just like wrestling fans are very passionate about wrestling. And same with, superhero fans or Marvel fans are very passionate about their comic book characters, and they wanted Drax, their beloved Drax, played by a professional actor. And I think they just thought that, I was going to bring kind of a muscle-bound look into it, and that was going to be the extent of it. I think they weren't aware that I was very serious about acting. And I think they're going to be surprised when they see this, man. I hope that they're, positively surprised, and they think that I did Drax justice.
Did you have any doubts?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I all kinds of doubts and insecurities, but that's one of the things. I mean, I'm human. I get insecure, maybe even more than most people. But that's kind of been my strength because I am my own worst critic. That's why usually when other people criticize me, it doesn't affect me as much, because I'm prepared, because I'm well aware of my faults. But yeah, even at the same point, 'cause being new to this and stepping onto such a big production and working with such top-notch actors who are already well established, I mean, it's an intimidating thing. But I think if you're not afraid to put yourself in the role of a student, if you always look at everything as a learning experience and just come to terms that you don't know everything about everything, and you don't always have to be, like me, I realize the way I look and that element about me, that I'm a tough guy. I am legitimately a tough guy, but I don't feel like I need to prove that I'm a tough guy, and I don't feel like I need for you to tell me that I'm a tough guy, because I know I'm a tough guy. So I don't need to wear that on my sleeve. I can let my emotions show, and I can be vulnerable, and I can be a student. So
Marvelous. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.